Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Motion here, and today I'm going to be telling you how to record and render gameplay footage on your PC at 60 FPS 1080p resolution. Now you're watching this is only limited for people who have an Nvidia graphics card, so people who are on AMD or Intel Iris graphics, I am sorry, but this video ain't for you. So let's jump right into it. First off, if you have Nvidia graphics card, you need to go to search and look up GeForce Experience. If you don't have GeForce Experience, I'll leave everything that you need in the description down below. You hit your download button and then Nvidia should start downloading. And second of all, you should land it on this screen right now. So once you landed here, you need to go to your settings icon and enable share mode. Once that's enabled, you need to go to settings, scroll all the way down to privacy control, and then click yes to enable recording, broadcast, and screenshotting. Why enabling this is because if you just want to do more than screen capture your game and you want to broadcast out to Twitch or YouTube, then this is a good way to get it going instead of just having to screenshot or screen capture your game. Once that's done, you press done, you press record, and you press customize. You'll land onto this menu right here. There'll be different settings: low with a low bitrate, and still the same resolution in game at 60 FPS, but just low bit rates. Medium, same thing, just a lower bitrate. High is at the highest bitrate, and then you can press custom to customize your megabits per second, your frame rate, and your resolution that you can customize. I leave mine at 1080p HD, but it will still pick up my screen resolution, which is 1080p at 60 FPS. So I tend to leave it at high. But if your computer can't handle 30 or 60 FPS recording, I suggest limiting it down to 30 FPS. If it still can't handle it, then I would suggest going down to 720p at 60 FPS. Now that we've set up the frame rate and the resolution screen recording, we need to set up a file path, so where your recordings are going to go. So right here, you need to click settings, you need to go to recordings, and this is where everything is going to go. Temporary files are just like the backups, so it's just going to record some of it as a temp file, and then you'll have to extract it all. So we don't really need to focus on that, we just need to focus on where the videos are recording. So how to change your file path, because it will probably go straight to your videos, is you press these triple dots right here, and then you make your way. Say if you have another hard drive, you pick one of these. So for my instance, mine's F for my gaming one. No, that's not the right hard drive. And we go to D, and then I pick number 3 for recordings, and then that's where everything is going to go. Now, each time, say you record a different game, GeForce Experience makes a different folder for what you're recording. So if you recorded your desktop, it'll make a desktop folder. If you recorded Grand Theft Auto 5, it will make a Grand Theft Auto 5 file. Say you recorded Gmod, but you can't find the folder. Well, Nvidia just labels the .exe file for the game that you made. So it'll be under Half-Life source if you did Gmod or Counter-Strike source. Now then, we need to set up audio. Now, I don't use GeForce Experience's audio because as you can see by the sound of things, now I don't use GeForce Experience's audio for very good reasons, because here's one of the good reasons, right? Because it makes you sound like a robot, and we don't want that. So we need to go to Audacity. If you have Audacity on your computer, you don't need to do this part, but you need to go to audacityteam.org and click the download link, and then download the 32-bit or the 64-bit. Now, seeing as I've already got this, we need to go, I can just straight up open it, and then we're good to go. So record your file, and then you should be all right. Just make sure you set up your microphone and headphones. So make sure your microphone is set up, and doesn't really matter, just make sure it's set up. So once that is set up, we need to download the encoder so you can export MP3 files. So you need to go to lame.buanzo.org, and you need to click whatever you're recording on. So obviously this is a Windows thing, so you need to go download the Windows thing. It's gonna ask for where you downloaded the lame encoder, so you just go to where you downloaded it, and then you just select it. Once everything is set up, we need to go pick a game that we need to jump into a game that we're going to be playing. So in my instance, I'm just going to play CSGO for a second. So now that we're in game in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I'm just in a skin preview map. So what we need to do is we need to Alt tab out of the game, go straight into Audacity, press record. It's okay, everything's recording fine. Minimize it or just leave it just open in the background. Open CSGO, and then once CSGO just decides to load, you press Alt Z. Now, sometimes it may Alt tab you out, sometimes it doesn't, but it's the magic of NVIDIA. Now, here's the fun part. How do you not enable your voice to go or to talk in GeForce? You simply, we're not going to go off, we're going to go push to talk. Why? So we can line up the audio for when we're going to use Audacity and GeForce. So once it's lined up, everything's going to be perfect. So you press start recording, or there's like another alternative. I think it's Alt F7, but I don't know yet. After that, press the button that you have lined up for push to talk, which is mine is the star key, and you just make a sound or just make a simple little bang on the desk. I recommend doing the bang on the desk 3 times just so you can get a good lineup. Once we've done it, we can just stop the audio and we can file and save it. I recommend naming it so you know what it is. So I'm just going to name it Demo Audio. Find where you want to save it, and then you want to file and export the audio. I recommend putting it at the same areas where you saved your demo. Exporting the audio doesn't take that long. Once it's done, you can close that, and now you need to and now let's just go check on the audio that we've got going on. Press the button that you have lined up for push to talk, which is mine is the star key, and you just, and that looks good. Now let's check out the audio quickly. Let's record. It's okay, everything's recording fine. Minimize it or just, yep, beautiful. Now that we've got all the audio and all that, it's time to edit it. Now I'm going to show you both Premiere Pro and Sony Vegas and how to render it in 1080-60. So let's just start off with Premiere Pro and Sony Vegas. Okay, so here we are. Yours probably won't look like that. Yours will probably be set to the editing tab. So if you want to have the same layout as me, you press the assembly tab and you'll have the same layout as me. But let's go get all the clips that we had. So we need to find where we've put everything. So in my theory, it'll be here. We drop everything in that we need. So it's only the video and the audio that we need. Then we select them both at the same time, drop them into the timeline. Make sure it's on a different clip. We need to expand this audio clip so we can be able to see our clip. So as you can see, all the clip is here. So if I mute this one, you'll be able to hear me on this one. Let's record. It's okay. Everything's recording fine. Then you'll be able to hear me on this track. Press the button that you have lined up for push to talk, which is mine is the star key. And so yeah, now the fun part is coming. So now we need to get it. We need to start finding where we've press that button lined up for push to talk, which is mine is the star key, and you just so there we are. So now we just delete the clips, line it up. It's not as easy lining it up in Premiere as in Sony, where the clip doesn't go hot, like transparent like that, but it is what it is, and I prefer Premiere over Sony. Make a sound or... So that's how you do it on Adobe Premiere Pro. Now let's get it up on Sony Vegas. Okay, so now we're here on Sony Vegas now. So we need to drop our audio in. Actually, it's recommended to put the video in first. Make sure you base it on what you did. So it, even though it says 59.999p, it's still the same as 60 FPS, so just don't bother. The cool thing with Sony Vegas and Premiere Pro is, say you have trouble finding it, you can just press M to marker things and say line up, and you know where the lineup is, or like where you started banging the desk, which is at this point. Once that's done, we can just drop our audio clip under there. Find where we start banging the desk, so I'm guessing it's this point. Beautiful. Press S to split. Drop it back. Press play. Pretty much perfect. And bam, there you go. Now I'm going to bring up a clip where it's going to be a little bit better, and I'm going to show you guys how to render on Sony Vegas and Premiere Pro. So right here I've set up a little demo for you guys of me just having a little fun gameplay at Deathmatch on Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So as you can see, that's all lined up. And then, yeah, as you can see from me clapping A and D side to side and me clicking hard out, it's all really lined up. Now, how to render it? Well, you gotta have this box selected, so your timeline has to be selected. Then you can either press Control M to get to the render file, or you can go File, or you can go to Export Media. What I highly suggest is you save it first, just in case anything goes wrong. So I'm gonna save it as a big fat demo, and then save it. That way, all this is fine. Then we can go to File, Export Media. Once the screen shows up, you're going to have all of this stuff to play with. I recommend, if you're doing this at 30 FPS, everything should be all set. Just make sure your format is set to H.264, so it's right here. Then you have your preset at match source high bitrate. Then you can change where the file goes. So for me, I'm just going to put it straight onto the demo files. So I'm going to put it under demo. So I'm going to name this demo final. Straight onto the demo. So we save it. That will change its name. Look at this. See if it's all perfect. 60 FPS, 1920 by 1080, that's the resolution you want to go with if you're doing 1080p recording at 60 FPS. If you're doing 1080p 30, then it'll be 1080p at 30 FPS. Or if you're doing 720, or 1280 by 720 at 30 or 60 FPS. That's all the same. You really don't want to touch anything else, because everything else is pretty much perfect as it is. Then you press export. Let it gather all its audio, and then I'll return to you guys once this is all done. Okay, so now the file has rendered itself. Let's go have a look at it. Beautiful. Now the only reason why it's a bit longer than it normally is because I forgot to cut the bits out. So now let's show you in Sony Vegas. Okay, so the audio and the video is now perfected on Sony Vegas, as you can see. There we go. So now how we do it is first we got to save. You always got to make sure you save. So we save it as demo. Let's save it there. And now we go File. Make sure we double click above there, File, Render As. And here comes the fun part, because we can just do this whatever we want. So let's go to this, because I made templates for this already. Let's go Customize Template. Pause the video now if you want to, or I will just run it down with you. Make sure you name it so you know what it is. Go, hang on. Okay, so once you're at this screen, you need to scroll up or scroll down and find main concept AVC/AAC. Then you need to scroll down until you find Internet HD 1080p. Then you customize it. Make sure you name it as you want it. So 60 FPS. Leave that as it is. Change it up. Change it to 59.999. After that, you just leave everything as it is. Audio, leave as it is. System, leave as it is. Project, leave as it is. Press OK. star it so you know where it is. Select the render file you want to do, or render template, and press render. And then we'll be back to preview this once it's done. Okay, so now the file is done editing, let's just have a look. Okay, that looks beautiful. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you thought this was very helpful, then be sure to give it a big, massive thumbs up. Or a thumbs down if you think I'm useless at making tutorials. If you want an update version, or if you guys who are AMD users or Intel users who have Intel or AMD graphics cards, or you want to try another solution, then let me know in the comments below, because I've got another way on how to do it. As always, I hope you guys have a fun time. I'll see you guys at the next live stream or the next video I make. As always, have a lovely day. Peace out. It's your boy.